Some of the following audio used in this video was edited to have no lyrics for ambience and were renamed for the construction of a fanfiction. The following tunes are actually performed by Guns N' Roses, Black Sabbath, Aerosmith, Ozzy Osbourne, and Warrant. Original albums are owned under the label of Geffen, Vertigo, Epic, CBS of the United States, and Columbia Records. Please support the official release.
Celestia led the band down a long, wide hallway. The carpet was red, and there were closed beverage stands on either side under stained glass windows.
We hold our heartwarming Eve pageant in this room every year,
the princess said.
And there's enough room to hold up to 50,000 ponies. We've had it cleared out to have it remodeled to your desire. This is what you requested. Correct, Rush?
Thank you, Princess.
Rush said with a smile.
With all that space based on the layout, we can fit an additional 1,000 more.
That makes more rooms for fans to move as well. Way to think.
I try,
he said proudly with a smile. They continued walking until they got to a large white door.
This is the concert hall's main entrance,
Celestia explained.
Your instruments and other equipment will be waiting for you backstage, and the crew will be there to set up the stage based on Rush's designs. If you require anything, just ask one of the guards inside. Are there any questions?
Thrash raised his hoof, jumping rapidly like a school student in class.
Oh, I have one! Are there any museums or historic sites around here? I wanted to take a look around
Thrash, we're only here for one night,
Whiplash said.
The concert is in 12 hours. We can't schedule any side quests.
Aww.
You could consider this castle one of the most historic places in this kingdom,
Celestia explained.
But now that you mention historic, I almost forgot to mention that you will be having some very special ponies backstage to watch the concert.
How special?
Asked Slide.
I have invited my best pupil and her friends to attend the concert backstage. These ponies were the ones that wielded the elements of harmony to stop discord in Nightmare Moon.
All the members of the band gasped. Their mouths hung open.
Well, I'll leave you alone to prepare for tonight,
Celestia said, passing the 6 frozen ponies.
Rush?
On it. Band huddle!
He shouted, and all 6 ponies huddled into a circle.
Okay, I had no idea we would be meeting these 6 heroes, so I'm just as surprised as you. The ponies that inspired our song's 6 basic elements will be watching the show.
We never performed that song live before. We don't have time to fit it in with the planned songs,
said Slide.
It's okay. We follow what we had planned. Even if we don't play it, we will still give them a performance that they'll never forget. So let's get in there and practice like we've never practiced before!
The band cheered in agreement as Rush opened the doors to the concert hall. The room was huge. The walls and balconies were made of dark wooded material. The tiled floors were black and gray and clear of seats. The balconies were lined with built-in folding chairs with a red material to make them comfortable.
Man, this place is huge,
said Shredder as the band proceeded their way into the hall. Thrash trailed behind the rest of the band. He then felt a hoof tap from behind. He turned and saw that it was Celestia. The band didn't even notice her presence.
Thrash, was it?
She said.
Yes, Princess.
He responded.
What did you mean by museums and historic sites?
Well, I just enjoy exploring the places we visit, and I enjoy museums most of all.
You have a thing for them.
I just enjoy the culture, the art, the history, you name it. I guess you can say it's just something I picked up along the way.
Where are you having your next concert?
Thrash took a moment to think as he rubbed his head with his hoof.
I know the next concert is 3 days from tonight, and it took place at, I think it was called Skysburg?
Cloudsdale?
That was it. Sorry, my memory's not so good. Guess that's what I get for traveling everywhere,
he said with a smile.
Well, below that city is going to be your 3rd stop. It's a town called Ponyville. When you get the chance, hit up that town. Their museum is worth the wait.
No foolin'?
Thrash asked, excited. Celestia nodded her head with a smile.
All right, I am so there! Thank you, Princess Celestia.
He gave her a quick hug and ran into the concert hall. Celestia stood in place, shaking her head and smiling.
It's always the youngest that's the most adventurous,
she said to herself as she walked away.
Okay, the lighting is set on the board. Is the zip line secured?
Rush asked Thrash from the balcony with a microphone.
I've tested it 9 times, it works, and it's capable of supporting my weight.
Thrash shouted from the stage to Rush.
It still makes me kinda nervous. Will there be a safety net below me?
They didn't already set it up?
Did you tell them to set it up?
Dear Celestia, can some ponies secure a safety net for Thrash under the zip line, please?
2 white Pegasus ponies flew up to the highest balcony and started setting up a net.
At least I can tumble onto the stage like a boss if I don't end up sliding onto the stage like a boss.
Thrash said to himself, drinking from a water bottle. A yellow unicorn mare approached Thrash and tapped him in the back.
Mr. Trotter?
Please, call me Thrash.
He said with a smile.
You're the stage manager, correct?
Yes, sir.
She responded with a nod, shaking his hoof.
My name is HoneyComb. I just wanted to say that we have finished padding the walls and the ground for your stunt work. We just thought you'd enjoy a test run.
Heck yeah, I would!
Thrash shouted happily, dropping his water on the ground. He leaped up towards the wall at the peak of his height. He grabbed the metal handle, drilled into it, and swung back and forth, till he flew forward and landed to the side of the drummer's platform, followed by a flip on stage.
I hereby dub that to be awesome! Good on ya, it's perfect!
He picked up his bottled water and drank it some more.
Where did you learn those stunts?
Let's just say Philadelphia has some talented ponies hidden in certain places. If you find those places, you can learn a lot.
What?
To simplify, it's a band secret.
Oh, well, okay. Oh, before I forget, I have a son who enjoys your music. It's his birthday tomorrow, and I was wondering if you signed this CD.
She held out a copy of their 3rd album, entitled Radiation. Thrash took it with a smile and looked at the back of the album to see the picture of the band. They released this album a year after they started 4 years ago. Thrash looked at how differently they all looked back then. Whiplash had a shorter mane. Snap's mane had its natural dark blonde color, and it was much more messy. And Rush's glasses were darker.
Ah, memories. I remember recording this album. It was Whiplash's turn to choose the title, and Rush became our manager.
What happened to the old manager?
Yeah, long story. Anyway, I'd love to sign this, but I have a better idea.
Thrash walked to the back. HoneyComb waited there for a few minutes, and he returned with a copy of the new Poison Ponies album.
This is our new album. We won't be releasing it until next month. We autographed several to give to certain ponies we meet during the tour. Give this to your son. Tell him Thrash said hi.
Thrash said with a smile and wink.
Thank you. You're a very nice colt, you know that?
She stated, accepting the gift and leaving to inspect the rest of the stage. Thrash stood there sighing to himself after what he did.
You know, we have only 150 of those CDs.
Whiplash said from behind him.
Ah, we've got plenty of those things. Heck, we still have a ton left over CDs from our last tour.
You're gonna make Rush angry.
I know.
She's right about you. She kinda reminds me of your mother.
Thrash lifted his hoof and stared at the 2 golden bracelets dangling from them.
A little.
Well, you should see what we got planned for tonight's finale.
Whiplash handed Thrash a piece of paper that outlined a plan they had for the last song. His eyes swept through it swiftly.
I need to see this to believe this.
Okay, let's get our first rehearsal through this whole show.
Said Rush as he arrived on stage with his bass guitar hooked to an amp.
Every pony ready?
Each member got into position. Snap on the platform where his drums were set. Slide's piano was to the left on his own platform. Rush stood on the left of the stage, while Whiplash stood behind Shredder on the right. Thrash walked up to the microphone in center stage to do the usual mic check.
Check, 1, 2, mic check, check, checkity check, check, check. Rush's vest looks stupid, check, check.
He joked. The whole band giggled to themselves.
You know, sometimes I wonder why I haven't quit yet.
We love you!
Whiplash said into her microphone on the opposite side in a swift and enthusiastic tone. Rush turned away and smiled to himself.
I just can't live without him.
Okay, let's take it to the opener. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't care what happens, we're just keeping it this way.